brilliant. It's a hero maximum. On the ground, down the ground, another hero maximum.
Righto, welcome to the Maximum Cricket Podcast. My name is Munter, and this is our first Patreon special. Tonight we are talking about Steve Smith and where he is on the all-time Test batters. We play a game building your ideal Test batsman, and finally, let's draft cricket shots. We have Jacko here. We don't have Lugsy for a couple of weeks. He is our roving reporter in the Gold Coast, which is interesting because the cricket's in the UK. He did run a sub 70 minute half marathon, which is quite honestly incredible considering the man's diet and lifestyle. Jacko, mate, how are we on a brisk winter's evening?
Yeah, good, mate. Yeah, just starting to really bite into winter now. But we're 1 month down, which means sort of only 2/3 to go, and cricket season's that much closer. So, yeah, bloody good.
Very, very cold in Dunedin. We're having a bit of a snow sort of snap, I guess you'd call it. Bit of sleet, bit of snow around. She's pretty cold. We've got both heat pumps rolling. It's pretty tough in the deep south, unfortunately.
Yeah, and Crom's escaped it for the Gold Coast, which is nice.
Yeah, he's had a good wee run. I actually don't know what he's actually there for, apart from the Gold Coast half marathon. Don't know what he was sharing a lot of stuff today, which I had no idea what it was. Like I felt like I was supposed to know what was going on in that big race, but not sure. Yeah,
and I think he was. Yeah, it seemed like he was there for the half marathon, which was last week, but it seems like the marathon's this week, and I don't know, all a bit above my head, above my pay grade at this stage.
Yeah. We're TMC jobs. Right, should we crack? So basically, what's going to go on here in our Patreon specials is anything sort of goes. We're just kind of trialing a few things. We're going to trial some games, some segment ideas, a few drafts, and basically just see what sticks. So sing out if you like what you see, or if you've got any ideas. We're open to a few suggestions. I think we've got one later today, which is nice. So we're going to start off, Jacko. This one is for yourself, and it's of the top 10 variety. As a former listener, people will remember this from the top 10 most test runs, the top 10 most test wickets. They seem to do quite well socially and on the pod. So I've got another one for you.
Yeah, good. Yeah, and I went quite poorly on the wickets, even having 2 cracks at it. So a few of the listeners up in arms I didn't get Anderson before Brett Lee, but, win some, lose most.
It was tough to defend that one, I won't lie. My only counter was that you knew Anderson was there and you just thought I would try some other names. We'll go with that anyway, that defence.
Feels like he could have got heaps of wickets. Yeah.
It's a classic fast bowlers mentality. He's quick, so he's good. He must have taken heaps of wickets.
Forgot
about
the durability.
List, I would say.
Yeah. His wickets felt like
happens.
Felt.
Yeah. So this top 10, it involves Stephen Smith. Now, we're recording this before the end of the second Ashes test, but at the time of recording, Steve Smith recorded his 32nd test 100, which puts him second all time for the most test hundreds for Australia. But he's also moved into 11th all time on the most test hundreds list. So, Jacko, by now you'll know your challenge is, can you name the top 10 guys ahead of him? Okay, so a little twist this week. So we're going to go 60 seconds on the clock as per. I'm going to give you one clue now, and I'm going to give you another clue at the 20-second mark. So no pause, just a pause at 20-second, clue, and then your final clue at the 40-second mark. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so your first clue is there are Oh, sorry, there is one Englishman on the list, one West Indian, one Pakistani, two Sri Lankan, one South African, one Australian, and 3 Indians. Okay.
Yep.
So let me do a wee screen share, give you the timer, make sure we're on the same page. Bear with me. How are you feeling pre the timer going off, Jacko?
Yeah. I think, I don't know, it feels like I could name you the top 10 Test run scorers, but I don't know if that'll quite cross over. So, yeah, I'll give my best. Hopefully I don't have another Lee Anderson situation. Keep the listeners on my side, hopefully. This
all right. Get them back, win them back. That's all right. These things happen. Righto, okay. So can you see the timer all right? You can.
Yep.
Okay, righto.
Yep,
In 3, 2, 1, go.
Sir Alistair Cook.
Correct. Yeah, he's in the 10.
Perfect. Tendulkar.
Yep,
Rahul
1.
Dravid. Yep. Ponting.
Yes.
Shivnarine Shinapul.
No, and that's your.
But it'll be Lara.
That's your. Well, we'll just stop. We're just stopping the clock there. I don't want to.
Okay.
We're just stopping the clock, and I'll give you another clue. You can't have too many guesses once the clock is stopped. I think that's a bit.
Yeah.
How you going? So, so what have we got so far? We've got Tendulkar, we've got Ponting, we've got Cook, and Dravid. So that's 4. So you've got 6 to go. 40 seconds. What do we got? So, okay, I would say all of these players, bar one, are from like our childhood.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 5 guys from our childhood, and then 1 guy not from our childhood.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Right. Okay. And 3, 2, 1, a go.
J.R. Wardner.
Yes, that's
Brian Lara.
5. Yes, that's 6.
Okay. Tilakrani Dilshan.
No.
Oh, I'm going to really struggle with this against South African. Englishman. Sri Lankan. Jeez, I'll get there.
Okay. So you've got 2 in that round, eh? So you've got that means you've got 4 to go.
I've got 3 to go.
So you've got
4 to go.
1,
Jesus.
2, 3, 4 to go in 20 seconds. Hot start, real slow middle here, but till you finish. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How can I not give this away too much? Okay, I'll tell you the nationalities of what you've got left. I know you've sort of got because you know that. How can I do this?
So I've got a Sri Lankan, 2 South Africans.
So you got
India
1
left.
South African, 1 Sri Lankan, 1 Pakistani, and 1 Indian.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you've still at the moment it's 3 guys from our childhood and 1 guy that is he's from the generation before.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that make sense? Yeah. So we've got, and I'll tell you what they're doing now that might help you. So we've got 1 commentator, one coach and commentator, does a little bit of commentating. We've got, not too sure what the South African's up to, and I'm not too sure what the Pakistani's up to. Okay? Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. So I've got an Indian.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Let's do
I'll
this.
do my best.
In 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Callis.
Yes, 3 to go.
Imzamam Haq
No, good guess though.
or Muhammad Yusuf then, I think. Maybe might be the Pakistani.
No,
And
no.
oh, jeez.
Time is up.
It's tricky.
Okay, so you were missing from your list. One of them you really should have got. I think you're definitely going to get roasted. Kumar Sangakkara in the fourth slot. That's it.
Yeah, that feels a bad miss.
It's a bit of a miss. I think, and it's a bad miss. And I tried to give it away. I tried to give you hints, but I didn't want to say like he was a keeper. I feel like that would just be like, oh yeah, that's Sangakkara. And then the other two are Gavaskar, who's been on a few of these lists, but he was my commentator. And the other one's Yunus Khan, I think, is one that that sort of sneaks up on you.
Yeah, it's
so I wasn't surprised you didn't get that one.
Yeah, that sort of goal. Yeah, it's tough to. It feels like Pakistan had probably like 4 or 5 guys in that era that were like run machines, but like you can't pick who was the best one, like who's got the best record, sort of thing. Like for me, it was
you just had to rattle off some names.
Yeah. Well, they're tricky, these ones at the back end.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's right. You did all right. It's hard work. I mean, that's one. Like one miss, the other one's pretty. It's a tough list, to be fair. This isn't easy stuff. People like to sort of complain from the comment section. It's harder when that clock's going.
Oh yeah, when the clock's going and there's like nothing coming into your head, way tougher.
Oh, 100%. So I was thinking about old Steve Smith, because obviously he's 30. He's up 32. One more will have him tied with Alistair Cook. How many of that list, like how many of those players, like if this is like an all-time Test 11 draft, Jackson Latham's like on the board.
Yeah.
How many on that list would you pick ahead of Steve Smith? Like in terms of batters?
Yeah, probably the little master, Tendulkar. Probably
childhood stuff.
Yeah, I mean goat stuff potentially. If we're talking goats, it's tough because I reckon like this is where the Jordan LeBron debate comes in massively. Of like, what have I seen versus what have I heard? And it's like, well, I mean, I'm seeing Steve Smith in his prime when I'm at my like most like knowledgeable and most attentive to cricket. So it's like when you're watching him, you're like, fuck, he could be the best ever. But then it's like, fuck, I remember Ponting being pretty good. And like, you know, I remember the back end of Lara's career, and it was like the stories of his 500 and he scored 400 in a test match, and you know. So I mean, I think you could have, I think 5 could play 5 as batters, and you'd be happy with either side you got here. So but I mean, credit to Steve, like for him as a batter to be in the conversation with, you know, Sangakkara, Tendulkar, Ponting, Callis, Lara. It just shows how unbelievably good he is, and we're lucky to be sort of on board for it.
Yeah, I think he'll probably end up like if he gets to 37 Test hundreds, that puts him in that top 5, just behind Sangakkara, and that feels like, you know, the top 5 batters after Bradman. You're looking at Tendulkar, Callis, Ponting, Sangakkara, Steve Smith. Like that feels like he's on that. He's definitely on that level.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good point on Ponting. Like his. Yeah. I was just going to say Ponting's stats don't. Like if you look at his overall stats, you go, oh, it's only like low 50s. It's not. But people sort of forget when he played the same amount of tests as Steve Smith, he's averaging 60 as well. Like he's dominant as well.
Yeah.
He just had tailed. Yeah. He probably played a couple of years too long.
Yeah. And I mean, there's all the Ponting stuff around, like, you know, this young kid at the academy who liked punting on the Dogs. And he was called Punter, and he's just got a great nickname. And we'll actually touch on it later, but one of the iconic shots in cricket as well, like, sort of comes with that. So, you know, Steve Smith leaves the ball weirdly, but Ponting had one of the best shots in the game. So it's, very different batters.
100%. Right, okay, on that note there, Jacko, do you want to take over the following segment?
Yep, I can. So yeah, this is shout out Harrison, long time listener, first time caller, who sort of sent this in. Based off sort of the American sports, how they will do like build your ideal quarterback or build your ideal point guard, say. And Harrison wants me to build my ideal Test cricketer, my ideal Test batsman. So the way I've sort of gone about this is I've sort of given the pie chart, the 360 of the batting, sort of your shots, and I've tried to sort of pull iconic shots or sort of who I thought had the best shot for a particular zone. So I'll take my cover drive from a particular player, I'll take my pull shot from another player. The cut shot, guide through third man, all of these to just group who I think is one of the best Test cricketers you could amalgamate if you could. So yeah, you happy with that? I'm nearly there.
Like it.
I've probably got one shot that I might need you to help me sort of get there for the perfect player, but I'm starting to round him out pretty well, and I think he's going to be a hell of a stick actually come the next World Test Championship cycle. Probably a good segue from earlier. I'll take, I'm going to take the pull shot first, and for me, there's just never been one better. The Ricky Ponting swivel pull, one of the iconic shots from one of the sort of best players in the game. Those sort of high hands, the swivel. It's just one of the great pull shots to see.
The full press, the swivel.
I actually bit of research. Actually, just watched Ponting pull shot highlights for 5 minutes the other day, and unreal. Yeah, just some good.
He does it. Did it at pace as well.
Yeah.
Did it at pace, like genuine, like he was like genuine pace.
Yeah, and I mean he was in front of square, behind square. It's sort of he had the one shot and he just timed it if he was getting it up and round or in front. So so Ponting's pull shot is where I've got there. Then backward through third man, just the guide through third man, I think is in all formats a really key shot. And I don't think there's anyone that does it sort of better with more control than Kane Williamson. Might be some Kiwi influence in the list and especially that pick, but just Kane's hands and control.
I'll throw Root in that conversation.
Yeah, Root's definitely there. I don't know, just Kane's so compact with it, does it so well. So, I had Kane as my backward third man sort of shot. Cut shot, you and I have discussed it a little bit, but I did end up with Ross Taylor. Something about that. Just something about the front. He sort of seems like it's almost like he gets into position to drive and then just, powers it through, which is a lovely shot for me. Looks great and very effective for Roscoe.
It's not quite copybook, eh? It's not like if you talk from the manual, it's like it's back and across, that sort of stuff. But he hands high, but he's kind of like a wee full press and then just sort of shifts his weight back. And I mean, the amount of times I practiced that exact cut shot, fast hands, the hockey hands. How often do they mention that Ross Taylor used to play hockey?
Yeah, they do a bit, and it will get mentioned in this list because he cut the ball so well. So Roscoe, fantastic. I'll save the cover drive to the end because I think that's your sort of bow, your cherry on the cake. And then if we're looking mid-wicket, now off their legs, I had two. So I've got the next two I might just need to, this is where I'll need that talking through. So off their legs, I've got Peterson or Michael Clark. Now, I just remember Michael Clark being an absolute, just looked so good off his legs. Anything sort of missing there, very whippy. Got it through mid-wicket very well. Him and Peterson just exceptional through there as well. Don't know if you've got anyone that springs to mind, but those were sort of where I was sitting.
Clark's a good one. He just would always, his front foot would always collapse over his head. So he would always be in that position and he would just sort of clip it along. I'll throw like a Rahul Dravid, or like even like if you want to Steve Smith's probably not going to be on any of these because just the way he looks. But in terms of just like efficiency, he's made a career of like betting on like outside off stump and hitting the ball into mid wicket. So he's probably up there in terms of efficiency. But we're talking looks wise, he's probably not on that list. So I like that pup one.
Yeah. So we're looking Michael Clarke sort of through mid wicket, and then. Yeah, I did have a note for sort of temperament and the forward defence, and this will go to Rahul Dravid, the Wall. If you've got if your nickname's the Wall, I want your forward defence as my test sort of player. And then, I mean, I struggled with straight drive as well. It's the on drive, the straight drive. It's just anyone getting it. It looks crisp. I think Tendulkar's someone who I settled on. He was just so nice, straight down the wicket. I
reckon the best straight drive I can remember is like the first thing I thought about when you said straight drive was the time where he hit Brett Lee straight down the ground. Like it was like 149 clicks. And it was so quick. I've never seen a straight drive so quick. And it was like, oh my God, that's the best shot ever.
Yep, so we'll give Tendulkar the straight / on drive because he's the best batter ever for a reason outside of Tendulkar, BRADMAN, sorry. And then that sort of gives me the cover drive to finish off. And there's some contenders. If we were going to be honest, there's some players I think. Yeah, all the great. This is the signature shot in cricket. I mean, Virat's is crisp. Bubba is a recent example of someone with just a crunching cover drive. But I settled on an Englishman in the Ashes, and I just don't think anyone hits it cleaner than Ian Bell. That sort of cover drive of his is just one of the cleanest things there's such the weight's there, the knee bend. It's all go. So, give me the Ian Bell cover drive, and that's obviously, I think I'll get the most controversy and potential pushback here. But, and we'll get some highlights up. We'll buy them off the ECB, and I'll be proven right, I think.
I was thinking Bubba straight off the bat because I was just thinking, like, pleasing-wise. Like, I don't know, I reckon it's personal preference at that point because everyone plays a good cover drive. Yeah. It's probably the easiest shot to play. Wait's always moving that direction, throwing the hands at it. Like it's quite easy. So, like your Coleys is on that list and stuff. But I like that Ian Bell. I like that. That's nostalgia stuff. Yeah,
there's some very crisp ones of Ian Bell cover driving. I suppose it's the first time you see a real crisp one that's going to stick with you, isn't it? So, there's probably people who Bubba's the perfect one because they're who they've seen do it the first time, but. Yeah, I mean, the first time I saw a proper cover drive, I think, was Ian Bell, so he gets that. So that's my perfect right-handed test batter. And we'll do the left-handers next week, which is just any of them.
Yeah, I like that, because the left-handers list is going to be tough. Every single one's going to be like up for the cut shot. We fend off the legs. I'll say Stephen Fleming will get the clip through mid wicket. I get that is glorious. Got him out a lot, but that is glorious.
Yep. And I mean, if we want to preview it, Sangakkara's cover drive is probably there. Geez, that's good. Lefties just look way better.
Maybe we could do a after the lefties, we could do like a combined best test batsman. Yeah. I don't hate it at all. The Ian Bell versus Sangakkara cover drive will be a heated debate. Look forward to it. Righto, that kind of builds nicely to our last segment of the episode. We haven't obviously done a draft in a hot minute, and although we've got no Lugsy, I thought let's try something a touch different. Let's draft cricket shots. Which shots look the best? Like we are judging them on like degree of difficulty, but the reality is which ones look the best when they're pulled off. That's what we're dealing with here. Like which are the ones where if you're packaging like a highlight reel, and like what are the shots you're going to pick up first? Is what we're sort of talking about here.
Yeah.
We're
doing 3 rounds.
Does that make sense, Jacko?
Yeah.
I reckon if you're up for it, should we go top 5?
Yeah. Bang. Easy.
Should we go top 5? Just us two? Yeah. Let's get into it. You can probably have. Do you want number 1 pick?
Sure. Yeah.
You have number 1 pick, and we'll just go back and forth.
Yeah. Easy. You already kind of start.
Yeah, mate. When you're ready.
All right. Now, I'm glad you gave me 1 because I think this had to be it. I think, it's a shot that a batter's in form if they walk out and play an on drive early. So I'll be getting the on drive. It's one of those ones that's, it's aimed in at middle and leg, and you just, back past the bowler on the other side. Yeah, I think probably one of the toughest shots to really nail. And if you're out of form trying to play it, you can look like an absolute wally. So, but in saying that, there's nothing better than hitting a crisp one. I'll get the on drive there at the 1.
That's a good pick. That really is. And it's difficult to play. Not a lot of people can play them because from like a coach's perspective, your weight's not always going in that direction. Quite often you're falling over. It's hard to balance yourself and then also get that power generated back through the ground. So whenever someone hits a crisp on drive, they're seeing it well. So that's a good pick, and I like that. So I regret giving you that.
Yeah. And I think the thing as well with the old on drive is like if the ball's just a little bit further down leg, you got to clip it. So you got to make that decision early, and it's a good shot to see in full flight.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that. Right, I'm going to go to an alpha, like the real alpha shot, and it's a pull/hook shot. Yeah. Like if you can do it, like Ponting, like there's a reason why we love Ponting. It's because he's good at the pull shot. If you know what it's like as a bowler, if you can't bump someone, that takes a lot of the fear out. Like that's big play. That's a big play if they can hook you.
Yeah, if you've got 2 back and they're either hitting it over him or between him, you sort of have to change plan A and plan sort of A through C probably all involve bowling bumpers. If all your top 3 plans are sort of nullified, it can be a long day. So and not everyone can play the pull shot. Some guys can't control it. So it's a hell of a shot to have in the arsenal. Hell of a shot. I think I'm just going to nab the cover drive here, the big booming cover drive. Could have gone something else, but I think just get that here. Bowl it over.
I probably would have taken it.
Yeah, bowl it over pitches, misses wide a little bit, and you just sort of put him to that cover fence. There's normally not a fielder there in red ball cricket. It's sort of always 4, unless they've got a cover sweeper. So. Yeah, just a big booming cover drive. Ian Bell's in particular. Yeah,
that's a good pick. It's not like a high degree of difficulty because you can just throw your hands at it. But in terms of what it looks like, it just looks good. There's something about it that cover drives just look crisp. Your Sangakaras, your Kohlis, your Ian Bells, etc. They just look good. So that's a good pick. It's a good pick up. So. Okay, I can't really let this slip much longer. Then I'm going to go. You're staying on the front foot. I'm going to have to stay on the back foot.
Okay.
So I'm going to go your cut shot.
Yeah.
I think it's a similar sort of operation as the cover drive. Degree of difficulty is not high, but they do look good. A good cut shot does look very quick, and it always races to the fence. That's the same with a cover drive. They get to the fence fast. I think there's something to that.
And I think as well, like they've either cover drive, cut shot, they've missed, and putting rubbish in the bin in a good way is always like demoralising for a bowler. Nothing better than missing, and it's a planned miss, or they leave it alone. But when you're over pitching or dropping it in, and they are putting it into the boundary, it can be a long way back for your day.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Okay. So now I'm going to go here, and I think this is just one of the great cricket shots, and it's the degree of difficulty here is what sort of makes me want to take it. And just a good, honest, hard sweep. The good, honest sweep
that's
shot.
a good one.
We're not talking slog sweep. We're just talking, hands high, into low, ball along the ground, meeting a spinner at a good length. To have control and play it well is a tough ask, but if you've got it in that arsenal, if a spinner's bowling well, you can just toy with them. Just give me a nice traditional hard sweep.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. That's really good. I'm going to go in a similar direction because I think it's all balance as well. It's similar to your on-drive stuff. I'm going a wee clip off the pads. Just a clip off to the square leg boundary sort of thing. It just looks great because you've got to be quite balanced, quite poised. The bowler's sort of missed, and it just something about it just looks like perfection. So I'm going to go a wee clip off the pads.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Right, what do I want to go? That's a forward. I'm going to go innovation. Give me the reverse sweep.
Fuck. Should have taken it. I thought I could get it later. That's poor. That's a good re-roster you've got here.
Yeah. I just think, it's becoming such a key part of the game. To see someone take on something unnatural and hit it well is just, unnerving as a bowler. So give me the reverse dog here.
Yeah, it's concerning. You've got both sweep shots. I don't know how I'm going to play spin at this rate. So I'm going to be I'm going to struggle in India. That's for sure. Yeah, there is another sweep shot. Okay, this is tough. I'm going to go innovation as well then because I don't know if I can't let you get this one as well. I'm going to go the scoop shot.
Yeah, I like it.
Very high degree of difficulty. Probably, you could say it probably could have gone a little higher, but
yeah, I thought about it.
I don't know if it doesn't have the tradition in it. It doesn't. It's not sort of hasn't been around that long, I guess. So there's something about it that doesn't stand out like the traditional big dogs, if you will.
Yeah,
but it's effective.
Yeah, it's effective. I think it's just that it doesn't get you to where you need to go as a batter, does it? You can't just come in and start scooping. You can, maybe, but
nah.
You don't build your game around a scoop shot as a batter, do you? Hopefully not.
You're not if someone hits a scoop, you don't go, he's a good batsman. Someone hits a good on drive, you go, he is a good batsman.
Yeah. It feels like there's a lot of shots, but it sort of feels like the list gets pretty narrow pretty quickly. But I'm going to get here, and this is, for me personally, if a batter hits one of these against me, I'm ready to go toys out of the cot, call it a day. As I get older, maybe call it a career. The ramp. When you go to bump a guy and he just leans back and just 6 runs, Skies is very, very good to watch. But when you sort of bowl with your best bumper and they just lean back and just up for 6, it is it's demoralising, but fuck, it's a great shot to watch and see. Especially in the T20 game, it's becoming a real option, and guys that have it, I think, just look so classy. They look so still, and timing's all about it. So I'll get the ramp to roll out my roster.
It's a good shot. It's a bit of a beta shot compared to a pull hook shot, if you know what I mean. It's the same result, a 4-6, but there's something about it that it's not. I don't know. You don't. Someone hits that shot, you don't go, he's a good player. You think, you tinny prick. That's basically what you're thinking.
You do, but I think
hook me like a man.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something that I feel like the ramp I'm less in the game. I don't know. I'm happy to see pull and hook, but a clean ramp shot. Give me that and give me 360 access.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay, I think, what do we got left? It's hard because some of these shots are like adaptations of the other shots. Like, I would say one of my favourite shots of all time is inside out over cover, like lofted.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's with the cover drive. I feel like you've got that, if you know what I'm saying. Like, you've taken cover drive. Yeah. So I won't pick that, although that is just absolute sex right there. Absolutely love that.
Especially the spin, especially you come down the wicket. Beautiful.
It's a hard shot just to stay, just to sort of not go early. Yeah, I like that. Okay, I'm going rogue. Give me just a wee tuck off the hips, leg glance down to fine leg. Yeah. Like, it's just, I don't know what it just looks good. It looks so simple. A wee swivel, get those feet out of the way. It gets the other end sort of thing.
Get your score ticking over.
Sky's kind of like taken that and then hit it for 6 somehow, so that's something. I don't know how he does that, but give me a leg glance.
Yeah, I don't hate it. It's just an efficient shot, isn't it? It's good to have in your arsenal. In honourable mentions you had, I was really close to taking the square drive, but yeah, it's just
square drive. It's close to that cover drive, eh?
But
it's just
good. It's good to see square drive.
I had back foot punches, but I felt like they were pretty close to a cut shot. Like, you know, your Kane Williamsons, your Joe Roots, just that sort of stand on your toes, like punch through square. Those are pretty nice. Slog sweeps, probably unlucky not to make it. Yes, it's a tough one. So that's a tough one, but I feel like we got it pretty well covered, pretty good, pretty well drafted. I think I like your roster, personally.
Yeah, both sweeps is handy. On drive, cover drive.
Yeah,
not bad.
Too easy.
So don't bowl short to you.
Right, should we wrap her up? What's that? Don't bowl short to me.
You can bump the fuck out of me, but don't bowl spin.
Yeah, which is ironic because you could bowl plenty short to the real me. But that's all right.
I'm the absolute reverse in real life.
Oh, yeah. Right, should we wrap her up there, Jacko, for the first episode?
Sounds good.
That is, so that's the first episode. Like, we hope you enjoyed the Patreon special. As we said in the intro, any suggestions for other games, segments, topics, let us know. And obviously, thanks, Jacko. And, of course, we'll catch you next week.
Yeah, just